Houston try and start the fight. They lose Happy, but they trade Fielder. No Baptiste here for Atlanta. What a scary prospect indeed. Drew's able to get back to safety. He sees Lip on the point, but the Immortality Field. Okay, Pelican steps out of it. Stalker able to hit him with an icicle from behind, and that's 2 kills for the May. But the Outlaws have it in overtime now, and Dog Axe gonna fall down. Who will stand up and challenge the Outlaws? Finally, the Atlanta Reign are toppled, and the emotions are palpable. The Houston Outlaws bring a 13-match win streak to an end against their old rivals. The team that's handed them devastating losses in the games that matter. Houston finally get one back.
So going into this week, we had Toronto and Outlaws. Outlaws kind of had a bad week before, but we know they're honestly probably a top 3 team as well. And then we know Toronto is kind of on the up and up. So this wasn't one of those weeks where we could kind of focus on one opponent, not the other. So I felt like a lot of our practice time we spent pretty evenly worrying about both opponents. The week of scrims we had, I'd say pretty good practice overall. Meta kind of started shifting to more people playing a little bit weirder stuff, trying to counter. But overall, I would say it was a good week of scrims. I think going into the Outlaws match, we were pretty prepared, pretty confident in that match. You know, we'd beaten them 3 times before. I think that match kind of just came down to us having maybe a slight off day. I don't really want to nitpick that match too much. I just think that it was obviously a back and forth series. You know, like thinking back, you can pick like a reason why you lost each fight or the main reason why you lost this map. But I think what it came down to is us just kind of having a little bit of an off day. On top of everybody playing, when everyone plays us, like we're like their Super Bowl. I think they're just all out preparation for us. And yeah, I mean, they got us that last time. No reason to make really any excuses for it. But yeah, it was a really good run. I mean, that was our first loss in the entire season. I think that's probably the only time a team has ever gone, 2/3 way through the season without losing a single match. So I can't complain. I'd rather lose now and kind of get that fire under us. And sometimes you kind of lose what it feels like to lose. You don't realize how bad it sucks. So I think it's I don't want to say complacent, but any way you look at it, it's hard to not remember that, you know. So I think it was good that everyone got, you know, kept everyone up that night kind of thing, you know. There's a lot of frustration. Nobody likes losing. And they're like almost at this point our rival team essentially because we played them 4 times now. Long term, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I also think for seeding wise, we should be fine. We can still hold the first seed as well. So
Atlanta Reign are angry. They got their first loss of the season, and they're gonna come back for vengeance. Toronto Defiant, unfortunately, will be on the receiving end of that. Or maybe they're surprised at all. Maybe Atlanta Reign will crumble. Maybe that was just too much for them to take. Because we haven't experienced those players taking a loss.
Coming into the next day, I think we were a bit, I don't want to say down, but of course there's a negative energy we had to shake off going into the day. I think today's preparation, it felt like this was our revenge day. We really wanted to beat Toronto. We really wanted to 3-0 them. I think that first map was really close. They didn't take the mirror. And then yesterday we decided to end up playing dive on Uni as well. Avoiding the ram mirror on Uni, it wasn't necessarily that we don't think we could win it, but there was a lot of essentially confidence in the room that we can play well enough to make our dive work, and there's essentially nothing they can do about it because the perfect play dive will beat the perfect play brawl. And essentially we made a lot of really good plays. I mean, if you watch Stalker's POV of that map, like he was legitimately just aim locking, so.
They have an opportunity here as we have Axe Blows traded in the front line. Kalush goes low and the sick is good. Opener out of the picture now, but Ultraviolet finds the kunai. What a trade! Geo had to get involved and dig a little bit deeper here. Hydron in the central pavilion. Swift step by Ultraviolet to try and rescue him, but the Reign managed to squeak it out. Going the way of the Ramatra right now. Stalker wants a first kill and he gets it on Opener, who just seemed to trip over the bomb and get caught by it there. Kalush the intended target, but hey, the result was what they were looking for. They get rid of both supports and now the Defiant crumble.
The follow-up wasn't there for the EMP, but the rest of the follow-up from Stalker with the pulse bomb was.
Yeah, I think that was more of a player decision to move away from the ram in that map. I don't think it was necessarily avoid the mirror as much of it was put the outcome of the map in our hands. So we swapped some stuff up, they swapped some stuff up, they played Torb, which was interesting. That was a dogfight map, that first map. But then after that, Nambani was absolutely not close in the dive mirror. And then map 4 wasn't close at all in the dive mirror as well. That circuit route was pretty wild. We experimented a lot with that map. That was the first time we played this map this stage, so we kind of just recently started hard practicing it. And that map is hard to stray from the meta. I feel like we tried to make our own thing work, and it was just sometimes too hard to make that work, essentially. Going forward, maybe we'll just play the meta and just mirror and be done with it. Either way, I was still really happy with that map because any way you look at it, we cap with full time and they cap. And when somebody double caps on you, if that happens to you in your ranked game, your ranked players will just essentially quit. And they're like, whatever, like it's over. But we did not have that mentality at all. I think we had that, we can actually still win, literally try hard to the very last second of the map. So I really appreciated the mentals there. Like these guys, they really have a championship mentality when it comes to that kind of stuff. And they're not quitters, not gonna give up. Regardless of us losing that map, I was very happy with the mentality and like the scrappiness of it. And then yeah, I mean the rest of the series, the 2 dive maps were not very close. I think we're just a little bit ahead on that in general. So they're just kind of like playing a bit of a losing game there. This week overall, I think we can do a lot better from the start of the week to the end of the week. And I think we have a big week next week. I'd say we play 2 of the top 3 teams next week. Next week will be a very hard grind. We have a lot of 3-block days. This will put like a fire under our ass for next week. So I'm actually excited now. I think we kind of got a little bit of our hunger back, and next week will matter a lot for keeping that first seed. Not really much else to say other than obviously thanks for the support, and I hope these matches are entertaining this week. I think they're very entertaining, so I think that was awesome. It's nice, I guess, that we keep playing all the good teams. Then it's not just beatdowns every week, so that's good. So yeah, I hope it was entertaining for everybody, and that we should have some absolute banger matches next week as well.
Do you feel like the loss against Houston yesterday sort of affected your gameplay today as well, whether it was positive or negative? 자, 방금 뭐 어떤 선수들은 그걸 좀 이렇게 힘들게 받아들인 선수들도 있고 그냥 얼럭키라고 한 사람들도 있다고 하셨지만은 오늘 경기에 들어오면서 어제 패배가 좀 어떻게든 영향을 좀 미쳤다고 생각하시나요? 이게 뭐 좋은 쪽으로든 아니면 뭐 나쁜 쪽으로든 이렇게 영향을 좀 미쳤다고 생각하시나요?
다른 선수는 모르겠는데 저는 일단 뭐 사람이니까 이제 질 수도 있다 생각하고 그냥 1패 여기서 먼저 하고 그냥 앞으로 남은 정규 시즌이나 뭐 플레이오프 안 지면 된다는 마인드를 더 깊게 가지고 그냥 대회에 임했던 것 같아요, 오늘은.
Alright, I can't really speak for the other players, but for me, you know, I'm human as well. So of course there are going to be mistakes. There are times that we do lose, but I just thought that it would be better to just get this loss out of the way, focus on the future, and just not lose any more games, whether it was the rest of the regular season or in the playoffs as well. Alright, that's all the questions that I have for you, Lib, and congratulations on getting the win. 오늘 승리 축하드리면서 또 인터뷰해 주신 거 감사드리면서 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.